I'm Judy with Primitive Quilts and Projects, and today I am interviewing Debbie Wick, and she has a beautiful quilt in our brand new first ever monthly mini called Holly Jolly Christmas. And with that, I'd like for you to meet Debbie. Debbie, how are you?
Hi, Judy. It's so great to meet you after all these years talking to you and Jenny. I
I
can't,
know.
so excited. So if I act a little nervous and excited, it's because I am excited. But hi,
Great.
everyone out there. This is the Holly Jolly Christmas quilt that's going to be in our new PQP club, and I'm so excited about the quilt because it just kind of came to me. I wanted to make my own red, green, and cream colored quilt, just like in the olden days. You see those; they always are so stunning. So I decided to do one with embroidery, which is one of my favorite things to do. So I designed all the little ornaments to go in amongst the half square triangle blocks. And it kind of came to me after doing several of the half square triangle blocks. I thought, oh, it needs something pretty to fill in the plain blocks. And I got a little creative there because my I bought some of the cream colored fabrics at Sauter Village when I was there, where I grew up in Northwest Ohio, and they had little prints in them. And I said to my mom, I said, can I embroider over those little prints? And she said, oh, yeah, if it shows up, yes, you can. So instead of choosing a plain colored block, like a cream plain or cream on cream, I chose one with cream with a little speck of green or the pretty red. And then I started drawing these little pictures and putting in the embroidery. And I got pretty lucky. I put the 5-inch paper on a piece of freezer paper and I drew a design. And I even put like a 1/4 inch seam allowance so I knew not to go there. And every drawing turned out really pretty. And as a kid, I used to like to draw like goats and things like on in Northwest Ohio, and I love to draw. So this is bringing back that. The drawing is fun. And then I'd go with my friends and they'd say, oh no, you just can't have that. What about an ornament? What about a candle? What about a. So it all started, every friend of mine in my stitching groups and wherever, here's a candle, there's a star, there's a stocking. And you know what? I got lucky because the drawings came out. First one I drew, I would have a little mechanical pencil with a good eraser and I draw. And that was the original design. And then,
Really?
yeah, and then I used a light box and I took my light box and I took my pattern, I put my little my fabric over it, and I drew it with a little fine pigment pen, or you can use like a mechanical pencil because you're going to be stitching over it. And I got my collection. Yeah, you got yours,
Oh,
Judy. Then I got my little collection of threads, and I was bound and determined not to put any other color in this quilt but red and green.
mhm.
So I did. So even the gingerbread man is, what is he? He's red and green. Can you
Yeah.
see him?
Yes, he's cute. Hey, what kind of thread did you use?
I use pearl cotton number 8. If
Uh-huh.
I have that, I use 2 strands of DMC. If I don't have that, sometimes I go into number 12 Valdani.
Hmm.
Uh, just kind of what works and feels good. Never too thick of a thread for this because some of the lines are fine. And
Hmm.
I love doing the stem stitch and back stitch, but I really like stem stitch. It fills it in pretty like a little roping effect.
Hmm.
Funny thing in the designs, I don't know why, but the holly kept coming. Like he needed something else. So I put a little piece of holly in his hand. Uh the wreath has holly. The ornament, the little ornament. And now my friend Roberta, she'd die if I didn't say she was the inspiration behind this ornament. It's just a ball ornament with the simple holly in the center. So that really started inspiring me with it, just became prettier. The stocking was one of the first ones. The little stocking and doing whatever little embroidery you want to do in between.
Hmm.
So Yeah, and then this cornerstone. You look around your fabric stash, and this cornerstone was this fabric, but cut. And you can make yourself like a little plastic template, an inch and a half, and cut it out and put it on the image and trace it. Put a pencil and cut it out, and
Mhm.
then recut it to make sure it is a true inch and a half block. Because sometimes when you trace a template, it grows a little bit and it
Mhm.
causes trouble in your piecing. So you really want to square that up to a true inch and a half block, I think that is. And just that little cornerstone. And I don't know how things come to me, but I have not a design wall, I have a design bed. And I lay things out. Once I started with this. I laid that out on the bed. I go, oh, that's such a pretty block. But what goes pretty with it? And it was going to have like a green sashing or
Mhm.
red. And I go, wait a minute. So, like the next day, I put this up there, this cream and red stripe. Oh my God, that just made this look prettier. So I just kind of play with my fabrics. I remember another
Yeah.
designer I
It,
met, she said that. She says, play with your fabrics and lay them out because you never know what you're going to come up with. It's going to be a little different. And
yeah.
through designing through basically always primitive quilts and projects, that's what I've learned. You get some new little pieces, but you can add it with your fabric that you have in your stash. It's amazing what you can create.
Yeah.
But
So,
the embroidery is so fun, and to make it, the fabric is kind of limp, and to make your process a little smoother and feel more like when you're stitching, you enjoy it more. I Somebody gave this to me. It was a little tear easy, soft, lightweight tearaway stabilizer, and I put it on the back of the drawn image, and I had to kind of I took my sewing machine and I sewed really quick here, just a little bit here to mount it instead of pins in my way. I just sewed a few stitches to mount it on there, and then I started stitching, and that just gave me a really nice thing in my hand, a pattern in my hand. And then I do a chenille needle, like size 24, and my
mhm.
pearl cotton, and I just start doing the stem stitch following, the line, and just stem stitch on the line.
Mhm.
And then you have your little block that you can sew into your quilt.
Okay. Can you demonstrate a stem stitch? Um, I'm not
Yes,
sure how it'll show up on this video, but
what I like to do is so I did the roof in green
Mhm.
and door, and I'm gonna do the sides of the house in red. And
Okay.
so I'm gonna come up right here on below the roof, and I get my needle, pull my needle knotted, and then the first stitch. Oh, and I gotta tell you this later on too. You you go just a little ways. You want to make tiny stitches. Larger stitches just don't look neat, and they also don't create that roping effect that you want, the pretty roping. So you have your thread up, you go down just a little ways from the needle, like just to say an eighth of an inch, and you swing up to the hole where your stitch was.
The
And
first one where you put it down.
yeah,
Mhm.
and I always keep my thread above the needle. When I first learned, you when you went up a hill, you put the thread up. When you went down a slope, you put the thread down below your needle. I don't do that anymore. That was a pain. I just stitch tiny stitches, and I can go around curves under, and it doesn't affect it. So
Okay.
I keep the same motion. So then I go about an eighth of an inch, take a stab at it, bring your needle from the underneath, bring it up to, and try to get it exactly in that hole. If not, just your needle's kind of swinging up a little bit and pull. And what it becomes is it just becomes like an every other stitch, and it makes this little roping effect. And up to the in the hole where the other stitch was. and then you create this little line, a
Yeah,
little
put it closer to the, okay. That's really nice. Man, you're neat. You do neat work.
thank you, Judy. Oh,
That's
I
what
gotta
I,
show you. I made this just for the people that have get the magazine and the pattern. You can make your pretty little ornaments out of the blocks. Uh,
Mhm.
I just stuffed them like a little pillow, and then I love to finish things. So I put a little cream rickrack with gold and a few little red sequin pins and some bells. And I thought, oh, who's going to get that for Christmas?
That
It's
is so cute.
I got to show you. This was the first thing when I became a designer. It was because of you all. Uh, Really, it really was. This is one of my favorites to this day, and it's pomegranate holiday.
It's so pretty. Hold it up.
Can you see?
Oh yeah, I remember that. And the photographer did a really nice job with creating the image of that.
I can show it.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, which
magazine
issue was that
uh,
in?
the it was 2013 winter. Oh,
Ooh.
this is the fall issue, and
Yep.
this kind of came to me with, you need to make your own vase of flowers after so many quilts I did with florals. And so
Hmm.
I was in Williamsburg at the time, and I had some time to stitch. Yeah. So I
It's
started,
like,
oh, this is an older one.
yep.
I remember thinking, why? I guess I wanted to make something with a log cabin. And
Hmm.
so I made my log cabin piece. Oh, you like to mix cotton fabrics. That's
Hmm.
what it was. Cotton fabrics with wool.
Yeah.
But yeah. And then the patterns now for primitive, I have to have I keep a bookcase full of the magazines and things. So I went to Staples and I got the fall one copied,
Hmm.
and I love it. I love to sit back and look, and I love let me see if I can find where'd I put that. I had a folder. When I draw the original designs, I just take a large piece of paper, a big piece of freezer paper, and pretty much start drawing.
Hmm.
I always keep that original. It could be, 2 years out, a year out. And then if you come a calling, I have that original. And then
Uh-huh.
you can redraw it really more better, and make it really pretty. Oh, here, I'll show you. This is original drawings of Gingerbread Boy. Was it December when I
Hmm.
created this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the original drawing. And
Yeah.
that's him back there in the corner, right?
Yeah. Can I reach over there at him? Can you see him?
Yeah.
And this again, after you make so many gingerbread things, which I'm a fanatic, I had to make my own.
Hmm.
So I drew him out one night, and I thought, what am I going to do with him? And this came about, this bell pull.
Hmm.
And he's wool, but this background wool, I just happened to be at a quilt shop and they had that wool and I bought it thinking it
Hmm.
was. So if I buy something and I really like it, I try to create something around it too.
Uh-huh.
And these pretty, I think these are Kim Deal little prints.
Uh-huh.
And this fussy cut is wonderful. This little, which is the reverse, the backing.
I love that color for this project.
Yeah, the color
Yeah.
is, yeah. My mom said, she was great. She's great at color, and I
Mhm.
got from her. The patience of doing comes from my father. He just
Mhm. can
can work as a cabinet maker, and we kind of. My mom says, "You're just like your dad." But the same thing is, like, I had to make him as pretty as he is, primitive and pretty as he could be.
Yeah, that's a nice one. Really
So
nice.
I drew these little things on really a scratch of freezer paper, and
Mhm.
try to get the size right. and then I recreate them for the pattern on the bottom, and that's what I sent in to you all.
Okay. Yeah.
They
I
get
love
back
it to life. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, Debbie, that's all beautiful. You are, I love your work and your designs, and you're quite an artist.
Oh,
And yeah, so if our viewers and readers would like to reach out to you, how can they find you?
I have an account on Instagram, and
Hmm.
it's D for Debbie, D Wick Quilter, and Instagram, and my email is dwickquilter dot ymail. It stands for Yahoo Mail. Ymail.
Oh,
So
okay.
dwickquilter at ymail.com. And it's usually listed in my bio too in the magazine. So,
Hmm.
if you want, it's there. But I get a lot of emails asking specific questions about the projects and the fabrics and I love hearing from everybody. It's really nice. This is going to be so much fun, Judy, to
Yeah,
be connected with the designers and the quilters.
it's
That's
going to be so
total
much fun.
inspiration.
Yeah.
I say,
Okay. Well, I would like to thank you, Debbie, so much for your time and for all your beautiful work that
oh,
you've allowed us to publish. And I want to thank all of our readers and viewers. And I hope you enjoyed this visit with Debbie. And I hope you go back and look for these projects and make them and send us pictures of what you made. And with that, I think we'll say goodbye and catch you later. Okay.
bye, Judy. So nice
Bye.
meeting you. Take care. Bye bye.
Okay, you
Bye,
too.
everyone. Bye.
Bye. Thanks, Debbie. See ya.
You're welcome.